Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning online. My name is Kathy Folser. I want to welcome you all to Unity in Naperville on this glorious morning. Whether you're here for the first time, here for the 500th time, here with us in person, here online, I'm glad you're here. My name is Kathy Folser. I want to welcome you to Unity in Naperville. Wow. Is that what I sound like? I got a little work to do. How are we doing on that? Perfect. Okay. So now I know what I sound like. That's awesome. I may never get up here again. But anyway, thank you all for coming. I'm glad you're here. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful place to be. As you know, our minister, Reverend Kitty Benson, is on a well-deserved sabbatical, so we hope that she's resting, rejuvenating. We'll welcome her back in September. But in the meantime, as you know, we have had an amazing lineup of guest speakers, musicians, singers, and today is no exception. I'll introduce our guest speaker in a few minutes. But I did want to mention, I know that you're all aware that the CDC has changed their guidelines, and so we are now asking everyone to wear a mask in the building. And I'm going to do just a really quick editorializing, because you know once you give me the microphone, you can't wrestle it away from me. But one of the many, many things I love about Unity is that we respect science, right? We understand that this whole religion versus science dichotomy, it's a false dichotomy. Nothing is separate from spirit. And Reverend Kitty really helped me understand this, because, you know, she said in various ways, you know, if you have to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. But the thing that she taught me and the thing that Unity taught me is that I can take those actions, but I take them not from a place of anxiety and fear, but from a place of faith. And I kind of am trembling a little bit when I say that, because I know that it's been hard. It's been hard at times, but that is such a blessing of Unity to help me be in that faith and to know that regardless of circumstances, I am always safe as a divine being. Or as Daniel Nahmod would say, we are safe in our eternal soul. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being Unity. Thank you for your faith. And now I've just gone off down the rabbit hole. I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. So I will introduce Reverend Christina Garza in a moment, but you know, we're Unity. It's Sunday morning. We have to sing. So stand as you are able, and highest good will uplift our spirits.
Good morning, everyone. No, good morning, everyone. Thank you. What a joy to see you. Here we go. You mentioned the word faith as you were introducing things and talking about things. And we move and we live and we breathe in that place and space of faith, don't we? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just having a personal moment. Because, sometimes I get up here and I'm like, I really need to hear that this morning. But my guess is, whatever you are here to receive as your hearts are open, oh, I know that is which. That is what you will receive, yes? And God, you are every mountain, God, you are every ocean, God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. And God, you are every morning, God, you are every midnight, God, you are every moment, every second of my life. And everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. And God, you are every sunrise, God, you are every moon glow, God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. And God, you are every springtime, God, you are every snowfall, God, you are every season, every second of my life. Oh, and everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Let's take all of that wonderful energy and spirit into prayer. Divine Spirit, we gather here today to open our hearts, open our consciousness, open our very lives to your presence and to your healing, guiding energy. May we be blessed today, and may we see your light shining so brightly throughout our week that our every step is guided on our path as we make our way and as we keep our hearts and minds and consciousness open to all that you have to give and all that we have to receive. Thank you so very much, and may it be so as we allow it to be so. Amen. And can we say our invocation together? There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns returns to me. Sing that again. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountain. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me.
Thank you. If that's all we had today, that would be enough. But it's not all we have, which is wonderful news. So I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today, Reverend Christina Garza. If you were here in June, you'll remember her from our Pride Month panel, which was a fantastic event. I'm going to have to read this because there's a lot here. She's done a lot of things to get my speaking voice. Reverend Christina is passionate about the unity message of affirmative prayer and inherent divinity, and wants to share this message with the world. Her personal ministry focuses on spiritual liberation and engaging diverse communities, including LGBTQ, low-income, and Spanish-speaking and Latino populations. She was born and raised in Chicago, but is always connected to her Mexican roots, as well as her Spanglish identity, and she's committed to developing bilingual and Spanish unity services. Christina has more than 25 years of experience working with and in nonprofit organizations as a community activist, nonprofit executive, foster care advocate, and participatory action researcher. She has dedicated her career to supporting social justice, equity, and improving people's daily lives. For the last 9 years, Reverend Christina has administered her private consulting firm that specializes in organizational development, evaluation, and funds development. She holds a master's degree in political science from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and she has an ABD in her doctoral work in political philosophy. And if you're not familiar with academia, ABD means all but dissertation. So she's that close. So congratulations. Christina is an adoptive mother and foster parent and a grandmother to 8 adoptive grandchildren. She lives in Chicago with her 18-year-old daughter, Isabella, and her highly intelligent Shih Tzu, Cutie. So Cutie's smarter than my dog. When she's not buried under books reading, Reverend Christina enjoys salsa dancing, shoe shopping, antiquing, and traveling. So please join me in welcoming Reverend Christina Garza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Wow, that was a long introduction. Actually, it's old. My daughter's actually going to be 21 this month. So time flies, right? Well, good morning, beautiful people. I am so excited to be here at Unity Naperville. Hello to all those folks on the live stream or watching this perhaps even after this service. We're so grateful to have each and every one of you here. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to Reverend Kitty for trusting me on the podium here this morning, and to the board and staff, and to each and every one of you for constantly opening up your hearts and making me feel at home. I truly, truly am grateful. So today we're going to be talking about some fun stuff. We're going to be talking about the idea of divine purpose. And we're going to be talking about how do we clear the way? How do we make a way for what our divine purpose is? And so when we think about what's happened over the last, I've lost track, 18 plus months with this pandemic, we've been sheltered, we've been away from what we've normally known and thought and believed. It's been a time for us that's called into question so much, has it not? So much about life, so much about what we thought was right, what was wrong, what was normal, what we expected, and who we were in this world. And so sometimes it causes us to be really frustrated and angry maybe, and upset and confused about what's happening. Like, right, the CDC rule changed again, right? So where are we supposed to be in all of this? What's really happening? But the beauty of and the blessing of this time as well is that destabilization also causes the opportunity for Spirit to speak. Because we're not boxed in to what we know to be. We're not boxed into who we think we are. And so it opens up this way for us to really manifest the divine, to really call forth that Spirit from within, to walk our path, to be the hands and the feet and the mouth of God. So we're in this really beautiful time to be able to step forth into who we really are in this iteration of life, because this world needs each and every one of you. There is no playing small for anyone anymore, if there was ever even that. So how do we do that? I know this time is also, we've seen, I'm sure, either in your own life or hearing other friends and family, we've had what? Divorces. Ooh, being at home with somebody all day was like, nope, this is not gonna work anymore, right? It's also caused people to take up all these wonderful hobbies and passions. Has anyone taken up any kind of hobbies or passions or art projects or things? Okay, great. So it's this time where creativity is coming through. I've heard people who finally came out as gay or lesbian in this time, and marriages that even happened. Who does that? Who gets married during COVID? Guess what? I did. I tell you all this because this has also been my journey that I share with you all. You know, it's a time where we have to step aside from what we thought we knew. My father went into the hospital Christmas Day, 2020, and he never came out. He contracted COVID, and he subsequently passed on December 30th, ironically enough, my mother's birthday. And I thought that that was going to be a time in my life, a time for me where I would become even more fearful. Because many of us, most of us, if we're being honest, there is a fear associated with COVID, right? Can we get it? Who's going to get it? How are we going to react if we get it? If I get it, will I pass it on to somebody else who may not be as resistant to it? So all of these things are worries for us. And so I thought, in the moment when my father was passing, I thought, how am I going to be in the world? And then I was called to have the opportunity to go to the hospital where he was at. And I was blessed to have that opportunity because, as we know, many people passed on their own. Many people passed without having any friends or family or loved ones around. Now, I wasn't able to be in the room with him, but I was able to be in the window facing, in his room. So there was a window. And as I stood there in the COVID ward, this idea just washed over me like I am literally walking in the face of death. And yet I saw and felt this energy among the staff there and among the people that was so valiant, that was so hopeful, that was so gracious, that was just so in spirit that it moved me and inspired me. And instead of being fearful, it like lit a fire in me. And my brother was standing next to me, just he and I went at that moment. And he turned to me and he said, in this moment, all the anger and the fear that I've had in my life has left my body. And it was this like, whew, that just blew me. And I felt that. And so I went into the world a changed person. And so for me, meeting somebody during COVID, during the pandemic, even though we knew each other from some many years before, I think, how am I going to establish this relationship in this time? What's going to happen? I won't belabor you with all the details of my romantic life. But I will say that it's a fearful time. And again, being called to say, is this the person? Is this the step I'm willing to take? Is this what I'm being called to do in this moment? And my soul was screaming yes, but my mind still wanted to say no. But I was already in that sacred moment of just letting go. I always think of this phrase that Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, used. And she always said, we must approach the throne boldly. What does that mean? Is that when we approach life, when we approach our concept of spirit, when we are trying to engage the holy within, do we do it small? No. Do we do it with reservations like, well, maybe, I don't know. Do we do it in this way that we are inhibited? And she says, no. We talked about faith already this morning, right? And so it's with faith. We're approaching it boldly, like, you know what? God is with me. I have the faith. I have the power within. I am standing with this community. I have Unity of Naperville who is standing with me, who is praying with me, who is praying me up. I have the Unity movement behind me who is powerful. For 150 years, they have praying unceasingly for people, and miracles have happened. So we're approaching our lives with that behind us, next to us, in front of us, above us, below us. We're coming forth with that energy of who we are energetically, and even the energy that we have from our ancestors who have persevered. Look at folks, I know people get upset when I say this, but this is not the first time that history has felt challenge and change and disruption and pandemic. And yet, people have survived. So I say this to say that it's such a wonderful time for us to step forward in our power. We think of, for example, we are based in Christianity, right? New Thought Christianity. And Jesus, as we know in Unity, is not our Savior, but our way shower, our model. And so sometimes we've been conditioned to think of Jesus as this figure that is sort of out there, and he's like super cool and like just calm, cool, collected. He's got it all together. I could do miracles, But that's not the truth of really, he was a human. And we see in the Bible, when we look at where he was at in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he's like going through it. He's having a moment. For those of you who don't kind of know, it's in one of the areas is in Mark 14, chapter 14, verse 32, where he starts this thing where he's wrestling with his known purpose. He's like, I know this is what I'm being called to do, but darn it, I really don't want to do it. I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I have faith, but man, I feel like it's going to be really rough. I don't know where I'm going. And yet, he goes through this process of going within, of praying, of meditating, and of having others there with him. He had the disciples that were there that were praying with him, that were supporting him. You know, this is a wonderful, wonderful example for us of what we need to be doing in these times. Praying. If you don't have a prayer and meditation practice, get you one. That's what I always say. You know, you need one. And people also too get really upset sometimes when I talk about discipline, because in Unity, we're like, like free souls, right? We like to be wild and free. And the concept of discipline is like, don't box me in. My previous spiritual religion or, spirituality religion boxed me in. But yet there's a necessity for that discipline, that every day, I don't care if it's 30 seconds, but it's not what you do. It's not the quantity of what you do. It's the quality and the intention that you bring to your practice. So we need to be praying, we need to be meditating, and we need to be connecting with others, whether it's virtually, again, in prayer and meditation, in groups, all of these things. Unity in Naperville has a beautiful healing service, and if you have not been a part of it, you're so missing out. If you've never asked for prayer before for yourself, ask for it. Therein lies the beginning of claiming your purpose, is by asking for what it is that you know your soul is calling you to need or to do or to be. So pray. When Charles Fillmore did an analysis many, many, many years ago of the Gethsemane passage, he said that in this passage, the important part was the idea that we were being called to watch and pray. He said that we must watch those ideas that depress us, that depress our spirit, that depress our inner knowing, our wisdom, our intuition, and we must watch for those ideas that cause inertia and eliminate them and cast them out. So Jesus said to his faculties in that passage, in that Gethsemane moment, to wake up. He called them to wake up and to get out of bondage. And so we're called to do the same thing. So you're not in bondage to the idea of sorrow. You are not depressed. You are not inert, but you are alive to the new life of the Christ consciousness, the Christ within. So I ask you all today, question, what are you needing to release today, right here? What are you needing to surrender to? What are you needing to open to? And what are you needing to clear the way for so that your divine purpose will just easily and gracefully guide you? Because here's the thing, if we don't allow for what our divine purpose is, and by that I mean it could mean like, I'm not saying going into ministry, some of you all may be. I used to sit in the back row at Unity Chicago, 17 years ago, and know that I was being called to ministry, and yet I was hiding back there. I would say, your power people are in the back row. Where are they? Look to those people, because those are the people that are hiding, because that was me. So this is what I'm saying, is that we are, if we don't step into that, so many things will happen, right? When we're not doing what Spirit has called us to do, what do we experience? We experience addiction. We experience depression. We experience horrible relationships. Yup, I'm going to say it. Been there, right? Been there, done that. 12-stepper around that, all of this, it will manifest in your life as that, because the thing that you are supposed to be doing to allow your spirit to run free is not. And so all of these things then will be ways that they'll remind you, and they will cause you to have to come to your knees at times till you face that truth. I don't want that for you all, but sometimes that's part of the process. But Jesus surrendered in the Garden of Gethsemane. And in Scripture, Jesus calls his disciples to surrender. He says, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up the cross daily and follow me. That's from Luke chapter 9, verse 23. What does that mean? It means that we're in constant surrender of our lives. Even if we look at the idea of what Gethsemane is, Charles Fillmore did the metaphysical part, and so Gethsemane is really, it's a wine or oil press. So what we're doing in this process is it represents the place in consciousness where the finer essences of the body consciousness are pressed forth and raised to higher planes of expression. So in this moment, we are being pressed forth. We are being pressed forth like an oil press to our higher selves. And that's surrendering. The surrender, we know, was ultimately for Jesus the crucifixion, right? But metaphysically, the meaning of crucifixion is the crossing out in the consciousness of errors that have become fixed state of mind. So we're crossing these fixed, right? That's COVID. We had these fixed state of minds about the world, about the reality, about what could possibly ever happen in our lives. So we're in this crossing out of these fixed state of mind. And it's a surrender of, or the death of the whole personality in order that the Christ mind may be expressed in all of its fullness. So when the soul is ready for its next step in the upward way, a great change takes place, and that's the regeneration, hence when we become born anew. So I'm going to give you all some tips and some tricks today. How about that? Because we're practical Christianity, right? I mean, we need to know. Give me the meat here. What does that mean in my life? That sounds cute, all of those phrases, and I get power from that, and I'm lifted. But what does that really mean? So the first thing I said already is that we have to declare and demand and decree. If you have those urges in your life about what your purpose is, and again, it might be entering into a new relationship, it might be getting married, it might be getting divorced, it might be starting a new business, it might be going into ministry, it might be taking up a hobby that you've let go for so long that makes your spirit feel good. Whatever that is, that's not for me to decide, that's for you to decide. But when you do that, you have to declare and demand and decree, because when we do that, we're asking the universe for it. We're asking for what we want. We in Unity believe in the power of the spoken word. We have a publication called The Daily Word. So we're founded on the idea of what we speak goes into the world and energetically gains resonance and then gains power. So we speak it into the world. We claim what we want. Yes, this is what I want. I'm going to finally say yes. I'm saying yes to it. I don't know what this means. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to say yes. The second thing is that we have to dare to go public about it. Because the first part is admitting, right, and asking and praying and meditating. But there's something different when you actually engage it with other people. So 2 or more people are gathered, there is the Spirit. So I'm not saying announce it on Facebook and announce it to, 1,000 people, 100 people, but maybe you go to one person. You go to your prayer chaplain. You go to your best friend and say, you know what? I've come to the realization that I think, even if you say I think, maybe you don't know for sure, but I think this is where I want to go. This is what I need. You dare to speak it out loud. You dare to trust somebody else. Maybe you call silent unity and you pray with one of the prayer chaplains there, but you dare to speak it out loud with others. And here's the third part. We are not independent beings. We think of ourselves as independent beings. We're taught in this country, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, do it on your own. But the reality is we are interdependent beings, and collaboration brings about this beautiful synergy of life. And so maybe you share your business plan with somebody. Maybe you start to share your music with somebody. Maybe you start to ask for feedback and you go in this back and forth with people who are helping you develop that energetic resonance so that your spirit can come up, can come out, and just build and be bold. So engage others to support you engage them. Ask them for what you need. Ask them to be a mentor, whatever the case is. And as Charles Fillmore said, now, then, we go. The next step is to watch and pray. Watch and pray. Watch as you're moving forward in your process. What are you telling yourself? Oh, that'll never happen. I could never do that. Where's the money going to come from? We have to watch these thoughts that depress us because we are infinitely abundant. We live in this splendid universe that will give us. And so we have to remember that. We have to watch those thoughts that depress us, watch those thoughts that put those borders and those boundaries and those blocks. And then we have to pray. Again, the discipline, the prayer. It takes patience, it takes discipline, as I said, and of course, it takes faith. Because these things are not one and done. You know, we live in a fast food, fast-paced culture that you want it easy, right? Make this painless, make this quick, McDonald's drive-through. Can we, wouldn't that be cool if you could just get like spiritual truth through the McDonald's drive-through? Oh my God, I think, all right, I'm gonna take one of those, I'm gonna take some faith, I'm gonna take some, yeah, but it doesn't work that way. So we have to go through this practice, and sometimes it means failing, sometimes it means starting over, sometimes it means just doing it. So as I conclude, I just want to ask you all again, what are you willing to surrender to today? How will you take up the cross as you move into your life this afternoon, this week, this month, this year? And surrender not from a place of pain and sacrifice, right? I grew up Catholic, and that was always a thing, right? You got to sacrifice, like mea culpa, No, surrender is this amazingly beautiful, gorgeous thing that you can do. And using those tricks and steps that I said, it's about getting out of God's way. Because that's the bottom line to all of this stuff, people. We are born into this life knowing. We are born into this life ready. We are beings of light, of hope, of possibility, of divine intelligence. So all we got to do is just get out of the way. Again, not saying that it's easy. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes others, all of the things I've said. But we get out of the way so that we can allow and we can release and we can allow God to grow and to flow. That sounds good, doesn't it? Once a soul has surrendered to the divine will, the Holy Spirit begins this deep purification work in the mental, emotional, and physical self, which leads to transformation and regeneration and eternal life in the Christ consciousness as we are promised. It's about being in the fullness and wholeness of your personal God. So I'm going to ask everyone and invite everyone into this journey with me here today. Let's now embark on this spiritual journey together, becoming fully conscious of our oneness with God by identifying with that indwelling Christ of hope, of possibility, of divine intelligence, of knowing. And let us know deeply that each step is guided and directed by the eternal teacher of truth, the Holy Spirit. Let's know that. Let's take this into a time of meditation. I'm going to invite you all to just close your eyes if that's where you're comfortable. Take some beautiful, deep cleansing breaths. Allow that breath to breathe you in, breathe you out. Allow your body to relax. Allow it to tell you what it needs to do right now to open you up to that divine presence. Maybe you shrug your shoulders or roll your neck or plant your feet on the ground or sit up a little straight. Maybe you hold your hands on your lap. Maybe they're face up, maybe they're face down. All of it is exactly what you need to do. Don't overthink it. Just allow it. And as we breathe in this sacred breath, we connect to that divine within. We connect to that holiness, that wholeness. We connect to that divine purpose. We connect to that knowing and that place of passion and of power and of possibility. We relax into that here and now. And I want to share a prayer in this meditation time. This is a prayer of surrender based upon the words of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane and on the cross during the crucifixion. As truth students, we are in constant mindset of surrender. For only in complete surrender can there be a merger in consciousness with the higher self. Crucifixion is symbolic of the final crossing out of any sense of separation in the soul. In total surrender, there is always resurrection or rising into a new level of spiritual awareness. For thee I thirst. Into thy hands I commit my spirit, my soul, my body, my life, problems, all unforgiven states. Thy will is my will. Thy will be done through me. Heal me at depth. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so I can glorify you, God, and live in the fullness of grace. It is finished. Allow those words to just seep into your soul, to integrate deeply into your bones, to allow your energy to rise as we take a moment in the silence. We give thanks. We give thanks for the opportunity today to be in communion and in community. And we give thanks for the inner knowing to take shape, to take rise, to guide our every step. We are holy, we are whole, and we are ready. And so it is, and so we let it be. You may open your eyes and come back to this beautiful sanctuary, knowing that all is well and all is God. Thank you.
I don't want to even speak. I'm not sure I can. Thank you. That was beyond words, really beyond words. But I do need words because we are now entering the time in our service when we share in our tithes and our love offerings. And on behalf of Unity in Naperville, I want to thank you for your support of this amazing spiritual community that brings us meditations, as we just heard, that brings us the ongoing blessing of opening our hearts and reminding us, because as Reverend Christina said, it's not one and done. I'm here to tell you, it is not one and done. But we keep coming back and we keep hearing the truth and we keep remembering and we keep walking on our path. And okay, whew. So thank you. And I love the offering blessing that we say, because it just reminds us that as we take this action, what are we really doing? We are stepping into the fullness of truth, into the fullness of divine. So please join me in speaking the blessing. The words are on the screen together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And I do want to remind you that there are several ways that you can support Unity. If you are online, please look for the donation button. We're very happy to receive your offering in that way. If you're here physically at Unity, the ushers will be coming around to collect your offering. If you want to send a check, we would love to accept that. You will send that to Unity in Naperville, P.O. Box 9733, Naperville, Illinois, 60567. Thank you from my heart. Ushers?
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. Okay, where am I? So before I begin the announcements, let's give another warm thank you to Reverend Christina Garza. Thank you.
So much, Reverend Christina.
You know, I say sometimes I need Unity twice a week. If I get a dose on Sunday and a dose during the week, it'll carry me through, and kind of do a little dip in, but it keeps me up. But I think this Sunday is going to carry me right through till next week. So thank you again. So let's talk about announcements. First of all, if you are joining us for the first time as a guest, online, anywhere, welcome. We're really glad to have you here. If you're new to Unity, I hope you really get a sense of what a joyful, open-hearted, uplifting community this is. If you're visiting us from another Unity location, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here. And thank you for letting us borrow your minister. So, if you do want to know more about what we're doing, you can sign up for our Tuesday e-newsletter. That is at unityinnaperville.org. That's where you'll sign up. Or you can email admin@unityinnaperville.org, and we will get you signed up for our newsletter. Reverend Kitty, as you know, is on sabbatical, but our Board of Trustees is here. We are here. They are here to support you. So I want to make sure everybody knows who our Board of Trustees is if you don't know yet. So please stand up if you're here. I know they're not all here today. Let's give them a hand. Okay, we have Steve out in the lobby. Carol? Oh, Jeff and Susan. Okay, Jeff and Susan are outside. Melinda and Carol are president, and Steve is not here, but we thank him. We thank all of you. Thank you. And they are wearing blue name tags, so if you want to talk to them afterwards, have a chat. They'd love to chat, answer questions, support you in any way they can. I also want to acknowledge everybody who was a part of creating this service. So if you volunteered in any capacity today, here you go, up on your feet. Come on. Thank you. You can't see our service team, or our tech team. Thank you, Candy and Parker. Thank you, Highest Good. Thank you, everybody who participated. We can't do it without all of your support. And okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going on at Unity. This blows me away, the things that we have going on here. Kim Char is going to talk a little bit more in detail about all of the things coming up in August. But first, I just want to say that our concert tickets are all available. They're $20 each. If you buy the bundle, you get $10 off. So a good deal for some amazing things coming up. So Kim Char.
Yeah, a great deal for some amazing things that are coming up. And then you actually doing the bundle, even if you're unable to make it, helps to support those artists who are choosing to be here with us. So thank you so much for reaching out and grabbing those. We have coming up, oh my gosh, on Sunday, it's Bob Simon! It's actually a Saturday night concert. If you haven't heard Bob Simon and Shannon Plummer, may I encourage you, Reverend Christine, like my heart was cracked open listening to you today. Thank you so much. And I would say, if you've not experienced Bob Simon, that same type of opening is there for you to have when he's visiting with us. So I encourage you to join us for that concert. The week after, I believe it is Megan McDonough coming back to visit us, doing her beautiful music, and she'll be doing the service, music and message, followed by an afternoon concert. The next week, we have Denise Rosier visiting us from Colorado, doing music and message, followed by an afternoon concert. And the week after, I see my picture up there. It's mostly all about Shelly, I gotta tell you. No, it's mostly about our girl Shelly coming from Ohio. She's amazing. And it's not a concert afterward, it is a drumming workshop. And literally, you could bring an oatmeal box to play. Serious. She'll probably have a bunch of extra goodies in her bag. But she is so inviting and inclusive, and at the end you're lifted and you're feeling the rhythm of spirit and the connection to the divine and to each other through sacred music. It's amazing. So please join us for, I would say, all of these events, everybody, because they're going to be spectacular.
Wow, thank you, Kim Char. Whew. So everybody just, take the month off work. You need to have all your free time so you can come here, be with us. This is the important stuff. Okay, sure. If you were, oh, sorry, Jeff has a comment.
Tickets are on sale in the lobby, but and you can buy all of these individually or as a package going online. It's easy. It's very easy. It's set up very easy for you. Yeah. So do that and join us.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Okay, if you were born in August, you've got a few more days to send us a photo. We want to see cool photos of you. We want to see a baby photo, or we want to see a photo of what you look like right now. Send that in by Thursday, August 5th, and we will sing to you next Sunday, August 8th. All right. Lunch online, this is amazing, continues. One of the silver linings of COVID. Come, join your friends, meet some new people. Lunch online Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, and you will... 12 o'clock. I ate lunch late. Sorry. Yeah, 12 o'clock. You can stay the whole time. You don't have to. You can eat. You don't have to. It's just a great way to connect.
I have to say, oddly enough, I've seen quite a few people eating soup during the summer. It's strange, but there you go.
Okay, and as always, if you want one-on-one prayer support, we do have prayer chaplains on call after the service. So email your name and phone number to prayer@unityinnaperville.org. A prayer chaplain will call you by 1 p.m., and if you could put prayer support in the subject line, that would be helpful. Mark your calendar. The annual Unity Picnic, Unity in Naperville Picnic, is coming Sunday, September 12th. Oh, that's great. So details will become later this month, but mark it in your calendar so you don't get double booked. And for details of all of our events, you'll go to unityinnaperville.org, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook. And also a big shout out to everybody who helped donate to support grandparents helping grandchildren. So with your help, Unity supplied each of the children with a backpack and lots of school supplies to start the year. So thank you. That's, wow. Thank you.
so much good stuff.
Okay, so I think, oh, wow, look at that. I didn't, yeah, no, that's great. Okay, well, I think we need one more song.
Indeed.
What do you all say? So please stand as you're able. Take us away, Highest Good.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Oh, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right. Thank you, Highest Good. Jeff. Melinda.
For leading
Thank
up
you,
the
Melinda.
backpack
Let's
effort.
give a big round of applause to
Amazing.
Melinda
Thank you,
for leading
Melinda.
up the backpack effort. Thank you, Melinda. So I think we are uplifted. Thank you again, Reverend Christina. Garza, thank you all for being here. Let's take this energy out and live it in our day and in our week. And please join me before we go in speaking our closing affirmation. I know you're familiar with it. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you and have a wonderful week. And I believe Kim Char will be doing
Yes, we
Q&A.
have the Zoom call. We're not going to be taking questions afterward, but I will be available on the Zoom call for anyone who wants to chat. So go ahead to unitycommunityconnect.com, click the live chat channel, and the Zoom link will be right there. See you in a little bit.
Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.